Okay, weekend waffle time, and as you can tell, I'm in a slightly different location this time. I was thinking of doing a full-length weekend waffle this weekend, but the heat's just been awful, and as you can tell from the channel videos, there's not been very many gameplays just because of the temperature, and it's been awful being sat inside. So I was trying to think of what to do for a topic for this weekend, and what I want to do is do one of these every week and just talk about what I've been up to in the week. But for the topic, I was really trying to think of something, and what I want to talk about really is just having a theme tune and answering a few questions to do with that I've had over the last few weeks. So I'll come back to that. But at the moment, I'm in Crowden, which, I'll just pan the camera around, is in North Derbyshire. It's right at the top. So as you can see, it's quite scenic. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to do something different this weekend and just get out of the heat. Although fortunately, if I can just try and find the sun, which is a good sign because I can't quite see it. There we go. The cloud cover is quite dense, so fortunately I'm not going to cook doing this, and I'm not going to get too badly sunburned, but I think inside it'll be sweltering. The humidity is quite bad. So what I thought I'd do is do just a walkie this weekend. I saw there's a beetle on my lens. I thought I'd do a walkie this weekend because I saw the Steve Bretton Waite's Friday talk yesterday, and I thought, yeah, that sounds like a better idea than being stuck inside. This beetle. I don't know what he wants to call on the lens, maybe he wants to be on YouTube, but there you go. So this week, what I've been up to, I've been doing shoot-em-ups for the last couple of weeks now, and I've picked up a few that I wanted to do gameplays of, and I've got to be careful here because I'm going through the different consoles, going through the Master System, and then going through the Mega Drive, PC Engine, Mega Drive, Mega CD, SNES, and I'd like to make this as comprehensive as possible, but what I don't want to do, I don't really want to start using ROMs, and I think the exception to that will be the PC Engine CD games, which are on the Wii Virtual Store, but I don't really want to start doing that because I don't really want to play games I'm not familiar with, but at the same time there are a few games that I would like to pick up at some point, so in a few cases I've just bitten the bullet and bought a few games on Buy It Nows, so maybe paid a couple of quid more, tried to get them for about a tenner. But the idea is I want to make this series of videos as comprehensive as possible, so I think it is going to take me, I said I was going to take 2 weeks, but it's going to take me more like a month or 6 weeks, and if this heat keeps up, it might be even longer than that. But, if you like shoot 'em ups, that's a good thing. If not, that might not be exactly what you're after, but, normal service will resume after that. As you can tell, this terrain is quite rocky, so I'm having to make sure I don't fall. So I've picked up 3 games over the last week. I picked up, I can't do a pickup video because I don't have the games with me, Atomic Robokid on the Mega Drive, and I thought about getting the PC Engine version instead because it's different to the arcade one, but it's a little bit expensive, so I decided just to get the Japanese Mega Drive one, which is closer to the one that I remember. It's a lot more like the arcade, whereas the heavy unit game that I looked at yesterday, the PC Engine version's just like the arcade one, and the Mega Drive's kind of like a special, different release. What else? UN Squadron on the SNES. Never played that before, and I've always wanted to, so it seemed like a good reason to get hold of that. And the last one was Biohazard Battle on the Mega Drive, so that's a PAL release. I got that quite cheap, so I thought, yeah, I'll add that to the collection and do a gameplay of it. So I think there's probably going to be about 25 games in total. Oh, stream. Right. Okay. Yeah. So I think there'll be about 25 games in total. So what else have I been up to this week? Well, I've had a few messages. Here we go, another challenge. Over the style. That seems a bit blurry. So let me wipe it. Better. Seemed a little bit blurry for some reason. But I've had a few questions about the music that I put over, not gameplay videos, but it tends to be kind of driving videos and, you know, where I've been out and about, and I tend to put music over it. And I've had a few questions about, is this my own music or is it something that I've got from somewhere? And no, it is my own music. I tend to be quite slow in recording things, so I tend to repeat things or, you know, use incomplete bits of music, but it is me playing the guitar. So what I was thinking of doing for the Weekend Waffle this weekend, for the main topic, is just play my theme tune, and what I'll do is just take the instruments and play them individually, and then, well, I'll have to be inside to do that, clearly, not out here, although that would be quite cool, but editing it would be difficult. Just play the instruments and then start with the bass. I cheat, I use automated, you know, drum loops. I can't play drums, but start with the bass, then start with the guitars, and just build up from there. And what I'll do is do the old theme tune that I used to have. So I've had 3 really. They're the same song. There was the first guitar one, then there was the one using Milky Tracker. So I tried to get something more like the Amiga, but I was on the fence about that, and I was thinking of doing a follow-up to it, and I gave up with it. And I had a request a few months ago from Games Bloke. Well, not really a request, he was talking about having an intro for his, yeah, across the river. Slight edit there, I didn't want to drop the camera in the river, so there we go. So yeah, going back to Games Bloke, he was talking to me a few months ago, and he was thinking of setting up an intro for his channel, and he was trying to think what to do, and he was talking about a theme tune, and I thought, well, I've got some music sat around on Milky Tracker which was meant to be like a follow-up, but I couldn't get the whole song to work, and I'd only done about 10 seconds worth, and I said to him, you know, do you want that piece of music? And he said, yeah, that would be brilliant. So that's what that became, and I hope he likes it. But yeah, certainly check out Games Bloke's channel. He's a really nice chap, and his channel is very much him. You know, it's warts and all. It's, you know, get it. Don't think any sheep are going to get through that. His channel's very much him as a, you know, as a complete human being, and that's really good, because I think a lot of us kind of put kind of show a certain side of your personality, and I think with him he shows everything in his questions, and, you know, about running channel, life in general. It's quite refreshing. So definitely check his channel out. And he does some good gameplays too. Going back to the music, I started with that original tune, and it was very REM inspired, and I ended up taking that and doing like the mod version to Milky Tracker, as I said. But after that, I decided to try and do something else, and I'd been listening to, I just bought U2's How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, and that had, it's quite similar to Joshua Tree in the way that Edge plays the guitar, because the echo is obviously back after, you know, 10 years of trying to do something more experimental, but they went back to their, you know, what worked for them. Some people don't like Joshua Tree, I quite like it, but anyway. And I like that sound, and I was listening to it, and I was trying to just think of what to do for a new theme tune, and I thought, well, if I keep the same one and take that sound, would it work? And yes and no. It took a bit of shoehorning, but that ended up being what the theme tune is now for the channel. So it's got like the bass is fairly similar. I mean, I re-recorded it, but it's similar to the original theme tune. It's just toned down a bit. Where's this going to go? Yeah, there's a race today, so there's a lot of people around, so I'll turn around and just walk a different way. There's a visitor centre down there. And what I thought I'd do is just take the like the Edge style echo effect and re-record the theme tune, and that's what I've got now, which I think works. Well, not as well. I don't know if it works as well as the original one, but it tends to do the job. I like to keep an intro under 10 seconds, because as good as it is first time, I think on YouTube, I think we all didn't really, I think at the beginning, well, I say we all, I've only been doing this a year, but if you look at videos from 2008, you tend to find minute-long intros, and I think there's a kind of a drive to do things professionally, but I think the community quite quickly realised that after 6 months of listening to an intro, which is 30 seconds or a minute long, people tend to get tired of it. So I think that's where the 10-second long intros come from. And you've got the question, should you have an intro or not? But I think that's it. My opinion is it just marks, it kind of stamps your videos a little bit, and it just helps distinguish them a bit. But each to their own. So what else? What have I been playing? Really just been playing the shoot 'em ups. I try to practice them a little bit. I mean, usually with games, I very rarely look at games I've never played before, so I've practiced them over the years. Back to that style. Right, I'll go this way this time, which is over a bridge. So last time I walked down there, over there, and through there. So I think for the last bit of this video, I'm just going to wander up there and left over this bridge. But yeah, going back to the gameplays, I think for the shoot 'em up videos, it's difficult because you've got to practice them, and I wouldn't say I'm the sort of person that plays shoot 'em ups all the time. I do enjoy them, but I find that not that they're all the same, they're not, they are different, and certainly you get different environments, and you've got to remember the attack patterns and things like that. But I tend to find, if I've not played a shoot 'em up for a while, I'm crap at it. I'm not that good at them anyway, but I tend to find, if I just pulled a game off the shelf and did a gameplay video, then I just wouldn't be able to play it at all. So I tend to practice them a little bit before doing that. So my problem there with doing a gameplay is I like to show the first few levels of the game and not just having one level repeated again and again and again and keep dying. I'm just getting tight. And the problem there is if you, I don't know, with gameplays, I think if you spend too much time focusing on the game and you're really good at it, then I don't know if it's quite as entertaining. So it's just keeping that balance between the two, which is quite tricky. So what I tend to do is probably play it for about half an hour before, and just play it properly, and then do the gameplay video, and then just add the not add the commentary, do it at the same time, but you know what I mean, kind of practice the game a little bit before, and then, oh, there's a balloon there. I thought it was a person. No, it's a balloon. It's not someone who's fallen over, fortunately. And there's a sheep, if you can see that. I don't think I'm going to get attacked. Yeah, so the gameplay videos of shoot-ups are ones that I've been dreading a little bit of doing, and I've kind of put this off for months and months and months, and I thought, Well, I'll just do it and do a whole run of shoot 'em ups and just practice them a little bit before I play them, so that it's not just, you know, playing it properly and grunting now and again while you're trying to perfectly dodge all the bullets, but at the same time, if you don't play it properly, then you don't show enough of the game for it really to be informative, which is a little bit tricky. So yeah, I think I'll leave it there. So I hope you're liking the gameplay videos of the shoot 'em ups. I have enjoyed doing them, but I found them very, very challenging to do. But certainly this week, just the heat has been, made it very difficult to do gameplays. It's just sitting inside is not good. I've been sat in the train for most of the week, so it's, you kind of get cabin fever, which is not good. Right, so I think I'll leave it there. So what I'll do, I'll cut after this into when I get back. Just probably spend 5 minutes just playing the intro and just showing you how I put the thing together. There's no editing. I'm not going to show how I edit the videos. Everyone edits it differently, but I'll just play the instruments. If you want to play it at home, you can. Although I think hearing it every video, you're probably not going to do that, but each to their own. So I won't say thanks for watching, because it's not the end of the video. Okay, so we're back inside in the games room, and it's not as hot as I thought it would be. It's still pretty warm, but you think with it being a little bit cloudy earlier on, it would be muggy, but it's not. So, fingers crossed for the rest of the day. So for the bass on the theme tune, it's really just A, then E, which will be an E minor chord eventually, and then G, then D, and the next time round it's A, E, G, and G. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is record the guitar part to the first theme tune. And I got the idea for the sound from Monster by REM, and the first song is What's the Frequency, Kenneth, and it's got this sound that I really liked. So what I did was to just take that sound, the guitar effect setting, and just play my own introduction using that. Okay, so for the second guitar part, I used the sound from REM's It Happened Today song, and Peter Buck plays in quite an odd style. He tends to use a lot of diminished chords, but he plays something like this. Okay, so this is the theme tune with that guitar. Okay, so what I wanted for the second version of the theme tune was more of an O2 sound, so it's more like the echo sound you get from the Joshua Tree, which they didn't really bother with until, you know, nearly a decade later. I think they'd done it to death a little bit by the end of the 80s. But what you get is this sound which has got this like echo delay effect on it. And then you've got what he does is sometimes does it on the top two strings, and I really like the sound of it, and he does it during the live version of that. And then he does it again on City of Blinding Lights. I really like that sound, and I was thinking, well, how can I apply it to those four chords? So I tried just playing like the first and the third note, and it didn't quite sound right, so I ended up with which didn't sound right because you've got this minor E in there, and I didn't like that sound, so I thought, well, can I just play the fifths? So I ended up with this. So that's the song that, well, the version of the theme tune that I'm using now. So that's the end of the video. Hopefully, well, you're still with me, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I've tried to do something a little bit different this week because I think I've been doing a lot of, you know, shoot 'em up videos, and I just fancied putting something that was a little bit different in it. I've said before earlier in the video that it's been really hot over the last the last week or so, and I've been a little bit slow in putting these videos out, but what I really want to do is just keep going for the next few weeks and put out all the shoot 'em up videos that I can do with the titles that I own at the moment. So I think it goes back to Chris Madder Games' comment about his question about, you know, can you please multiple audiences? And I think not all the time, but I just hope that you know, a bit of variety is welcome now and again. So I'd love to hear your feedback on that. So thanks for watching.